Now, in building that better life and helping the people of Afghanistan or Iraq or the Middle East more broadly, or perhaps it's not in the Middle East, but in places where we have gone to help after natural disasters, there's been a very special part of that, and that is helping the women of those societies. Because women's empowerment is right as a moral cause, but it's also important as a practical cause. Decent societies treat their women well. And when women are treated well, societies are more decent. You cannot, as Kuwaiti women said to me, they actually sent me a t-shirt, half a democracy is not a democracy at all, they said. And in Kuwait, where women won the right to vote just a few years ago, and where the first women have been elected to the parliament in the most recent elections, you realize that Kuwait is becoming a more decent place. In Iraq, where women parliamentarians, some very conservative women, fully covered, sit alongside modern Iraqi women who won't cover, but work together to try to fight the terrorism that is still the scourge of their country and to provide for their daughters and their sons and to make a more decent life, you realize that Iraq is becoming a more decent place. And in Afghanistan, of all places, where the Taliban declared that women would not be allowed to read, not be allowed to be educated, where women are now serving in the parliament, where women are running for office, where I was escorted in Kabul by a woman in the police who was a police sergeant, you realize that Afghanistan, this place where just a little while ago women couldn't even learn to read and go to school, and now girls go to school and women go to universities, Afghanistan is becoming a more decent place. In Africa, where mothers were dying from AIDS and leaving orphaned children, where women were being taken into marriage at 12 and 13 years old, ending their lives as viable members of the economy, you now see that women are instead founding businesses. And when they found those businesses, they make the entire village better. Because you see, the women don't just raise girls, they also raise boys. And those women then can make an environment in which women are respected. And even in terrible places like Darfur, when I went to a refugee camp and sat with women who had been raped repeatedly as they tried to go and bring water, you could see that there was a spirit of organizing themselves to petition the international community to make life better. And in places where women have become objects of war, as rebels would use rape as a tool of war, they are emboldened now by, finally, the United Nations recognizing that rape is not a consequence of war, but it's actually a tool of war. So around the world, women are awakening. And they're awakening in no small part because of the efforts of the United States of America to help make decent societies, decent places, and decent places treat their women well.